Hello, everyone. You may know me. Um, I'm Daniel Thompson, editor-in-chief of the Uptown Observer, and also its founder. But I'm not really going to talk about the Observer today. No, today most Kenoshans are thinking about gun violence and shootings and this new American tradition that we have. It's funny, we've spent most of my lifetime talking about gun violence. The big one when I was a child was Columbine. Of course, we were horrified. Oh my God, how could this happen? And then, you learn about the shooters and, you kind of fill in the color of it and the details. And the thing that always stuck with me is that people were horrified then. This was not something that happened here. This was something that was not us. But from that point on, it became kind of how we voiced frustration to now today. So, and you can hear sirens right now, maybe. Today, we're waking up to a mass shooting because technically, by the FBI's definition of it, this was a mass shooting at Summer's house. 3 people dead and a few more wounded. Gunmen still at large, as they say, and police asking for help finding them. And there's a lot of sympathy, a lot of thoughts and prayers, if you will. Not a lot of horrified reactions. Not, oh my God, how could this happen here? Of course it happens here. This is America in 2021. We have a mass shooting almost every day. And we talk about gun violence and gun control and things like that. And yeah, those are things that should be considered, talked about, and we should deal with once and for all. But the thing is that it all stems from a bigger issue that we have, which is fear. Most people think hatred or anger is the root of everything, but no, even hatred goes back to a root in fear. Because people react to the unknown in 2 ways, with fear or wonder. As a Black biracial person, the most ready example I have of illustrating that is when it comes to being a person of color. People that are of a different race or different color will either approach you with wonder. As a Black person, that is, they marvel at your curly hair or ask to touch it. Or fear, which is they clutch their purse. Or the product down the line is they yell horrible things at you, or, things of that method, which is the more bitter, angry, racist things you see. Because when somebody's afraid, their defense is to bite at you. An animal backed in a corner will attack. And whether through your own acts or anything else, it doesn't matter. If that person is afraid, they will bite. And that's what we see every day here. I mean, we are so afraid of each other that we've and it's a product of escalating words in either mass media, in how we talk, and how we think. It used to be that we'd warn each other that don't go there, you might get hurt. You might get hurt if you encounter this group of people, or things like that. We didn't describe the potential danger as fatal, but at some point we started saying they might kill you. You might get killed. And we escalated fear. And when you escalate fear from I might get hurt to I might get murdered or my life might end, your responses of defense change. Fists are adequate for hurt. They are inadequate for killed. So we've set this level of threat perpetually at killed. You might get killed. And so we respond to everything with a level of defense that has that level of threat in mind. So people are getting shot when a fist fight would have done. People are getting stabbed where an exchange of words and parting company would have been sufficient. What is happening in our country today, yes, is a product of gun violence, but is also just as much a product of fear and how we played into it and how we've, in ways, as a member of the media as someone with a platform, have played into that, have used that, because we wanted you to look at us. We want to be on the front lines telling you these are the dangers you are facing. And so we warped it. We warped you. We warped us. And now here we are, a country of daily mass shootings, trying to figure out how to come back from the cliff of always thinking we're trying to or out to kill each other, when in fact sometimes maybe we're just trying to hurt each other a little because we're hurt. And again, an animal backed in a corner must bite. That doesn't mean it's going to rip your throat out. We have a problem with fear. And I don't know how to address that in any other way, but you don't fear what you know. So we must become more known to each other. That's why you see white suspects treated differently than suspects of color. It's an inherent thing. Because the majority of police officers, especially locally, are white. When you see somebody who looks like you, there is a perceived level of being known. Both you know them and they kind of know you because you're similar. When a majority of white officers encounter people that are of color or do not look like them, that doesn't exist. They are other. They are unknown. And unfortunately, because they're in law, there is not the option of responding with wonder. And so we have the situations we do. So what do we need? We need to have more conversations, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everybody. We need to stop segregating each other into our groups. Guess what? These groups need to mix. We need to talk it out. We need to become known and comfortable. All of us believing whatever, except for the racists. We should just put them on a boat and put them in the ocean. I don't care. They can live on Garbage Island. There's no room for them here. But everybody else, I don't care who you are. what you think, what you believe, what religion you are. Let's talk about all of it. Know each other, because you know what? You don't hurt the people you know. You don't escalate the level of violence with people you know. Because when you know somebody, you're able to tell yourself, they don't want to kill me. In fact, maybe they don't want to hurt me. So why would I approach them to do either of those things? Again, we have a problem with fear. And I ask you to help in any way you can to make sure that you, your loved ones, and our community each day find some little thing to make them less and less afraid. Have a good day.